His moss stinks of rot with a high note of sour vomit. You turn your face and struggle not to vomit yourself. Fortunately, the urge passes after you remember to breathe through your mouth. Rooster, you've proven to be a fine vanguard thus far. This time you ought to take some transportation. What the hell does that mean? Says the chieftain as he nods towards the warg. You would have me ride this wolf, you ask. Wonderful, says Egra. The chieftain nods. His name is Velseetna. It means throat ripper in Goblin, a popular name among wargs, I'm sure you say. Chieftain rolls his eyes and points his claw at the warg impatiently. How can you say no to a throat ripper, says Egra. This might be negotiable, yet it may also be wise to use the swift beast to get you away from Azazel and Jackal. Besides, Egra is on board with the plan. You find that it's more often smoother to work with when she's upbeat. What do you say? I've always wondered what it would be like. I don't know how to ride a wolf. I'll just sit on it. Just sit on it. Fuck it. Just sit on it. Chieftain grins and says something to Trotter, but the Massive looks over at you and his one lip curls up, but he does not snarl. This is great enthusiasm for a warg, says Egra. Maybe your besting of the Type 4 earned you some lasting respect. Interesting. Throat Ripper bends his knee slightly, which you suppose is about as much an invitation as you're going to get, so you grab handfuls of long fur and pull yourself up. This causes the warg pain. He does not make any indication of it. Now straddling the wolf, you feel how quickly he is breathing as his flanks flex back and forth. He stinks just like an unwashed dog would, although there is a deep muskiness underneath that makes it even less pleasant. At least you can smell the vomit now that you're situated behind the warg's head. The chieftain says a word and Throat Ripper lurches forward like a shot, and had you not been already holding handful of the fur, you certainly would have rolled off the back of his tail. That would have been funny, actually. Up the stairs, Throat Ripper sprints, panting with his long tongue lolling out the side of his jaw. What is he? He literally is acting like a dog at this point. You quickly learn that a warg does not move like a horse, and so your riding skills do not entirely transfer. Thus, you are spending all your attention keeping yourself from getting flung off. You lean forward, pressing your body down near the wolf to try to keep your center of gravity low. His ears flap near your face, not even thinking that if this were not an evil creature, it might be a bit enduring. Suddenly you're outside and you're surrounded by chaos. Demons surge in current of spikes, teeth, armor, and steel. There is an army up here. About as much safety as I can hope, you think. I hope for better than this. Look sharp, shouts Egra. Life progresses one. Suddenly a brick strikes your shoulder and bounces off, hitting you in the head. Between your distraction at staying on your mount, the writhing minions of horror around, you haven't seen the projectile coming. Throat Ripper snarls as you feel a concussion from the side. Is my character, is the character like knocked out? I mean, a brick to the head would probably knock someone out. Retreat, you shout to the warg, but he likely doesn't understand. Egra laughs. You expect retreat from one named Throat Ripper. Looking back, you see your retreat is blocked anyway. The other mount warg has emerged, behind which dozens of goblins are surging, their eyes widening in surprise, fear as they behold the demon horde around them. You catch a glimpse of plate mail behind the goblins, probably Jackal. Maybe this eminent slaughterer is a distraction for Azazel's escape. There is violence everywhere, the clashing of steel, the rending of flesh, the screams of pain. However, it's unclear who the combatants are at the moment. It appears to be demon versus other demons. The only human in sight is a soldier's head impaled on what might be his own pike, propped up in a ruin nearby. Ruins are what most of the surrounding buildings have been reduced to. The air is hazy, with smokes from many fires. In the air above, demons of all sorts wheel about, most of them with large bat-like wings. Some of them are succubi, their womanly figures obvious, which others are perhaps male equivalents, incubi you think they're called. The incubi resemble the succubi in all ways. Their wings and horns are similar except they are men. Most of them are scantily clad, showing off their well-defined muscles and other naked attributes. The succubi and incubi aren't the only demons in the sky, though. Some monsters are huge, nearly the size of dragons, and probably built with obviously thick metallic hides. These behemoths don't fly with much grace, yet it is impressive they can fly at all. For every huge flyer, there are half a dozen smaller flying demons, no larger than a human child. These small ones have long noses and large teeth, and they remind you of the little flying monsters that Drala kept around the tower, but certainly they're not the same. Your attention is pulled from the sky. The arrow from the shaft of what might be the shaved bone sinks into the side of the Throat Ripper. The massive wolf snarls and veers hard to the left, snatches up a small demon by the arm with his jaw and shakes him viciously. Straight ahead, with their backs to you, is a group of demons with several large Ogthrax demon among them. that are pushing into the ranks of other fiends, perhaps trying to force their way to the front of this mob. Throat Ripper tosses the small demon to the side and crouches, his muscles tensing. You're pretty sure he's preparing to pounce on the shifting mass of monsters, striking them from behind. A ride a suicidal dog, you think. What do you do? Yeah, what the fuck do I do? Ride a suicidal dog. He's literally aiming at a fucking Orthrak demon horde. Yeah, leap off Throat Ripper. Fuck that dog. Morale increases 1. You leap off Throat Ripper just in time because the rage-fueled suicidal warg does indeed launch himself upon the backs of the demon hordes. With all the demons nearby, your sword bursts into righteous flames as you draw the blade. A nearby demon, a mess of horns, fangs, turns towards you, his beady eyes squinting at the light of your weapon. Without a pause, you lean in and chop into the thing's face or head, it's hard to tell, cleaving through bone and dislodging a gout of thick clotted bile. The monster falls as it hits the ground, expasses wind from a massive sphincter that might be on its stomach. The sting forces you to stagger away, struggling to keep your weapon up, and ready rather than double over and puke. You turn and see the Throat Ripper has a snake-headed demon clamped into his chest. The fangs of the snake pumps white mucus which boils up from the wound. Meanwhile, the warg has grabbed on the demon by the throat and throttling him. Otherwise, quickly, other demons in the throng that Throat Ripper had attacked engulf him and Snarl turns to yips of pain, then silence from the wolf as Throat Ripper falls to the ground lifelessly. As you back away, your blazing sword raised, the throng of demons that slain Throat Ripper now face you. Whatever they have been squabbling and shoving for either is forgotten, rather their eyes burn with malice upon you. One of them is laughing. The laughter sounds human, although it is coming from the mouth of what appears to be a leech. Behind you, the goblin's formation has been struck in the side by a handful of demons which are now slaughtering them. Perhaps you would feel a tinge of pity for the little monsters, if not for your own immediate peril. And I'm guessing Azazel is about to escape. Certainly Azazel using us as a distraction for her own escape, you say. It is possible that she is not looking out for your best interests, says Egra. A dozen or more of the demons step towards you, slowly taking a measure of your blazing sword. As impressive as your weapon is, it will not hold them back for long. Another transformation, perhaps into a dragon or something fearsome, might aid you. However, your recent transformation took around 2 seconds to complete, and 2 seconds is a long time to be vulnerable with this pack of demons about to pounce. Not fight but escape, you think. You consider asking Egra to make you a fly. However, there are half as many demons above as there are on the ground, and that's half too many. Oh, okay, fly as in literally fly. I was thinking like the insect housefly, but whatever. Yes, half too many. Invisibility probably worked to some degree, but something tells you this horde is prepared against the unseen. I'll need something big, a distraction of my own, a delusion, you think. Sounds fun, says Egra. Which one? If you're rushing up to your mind, what delusion do you choose? More goblins, fierce ones, paladin, devils. So what are these? These are demons. Yeah, if devils show up, they're definitely going to be distracted by that. Yeah, devils. Wit increases 3, morale increases 3, because devils and demons are at war. Demons and devils are at war. You've heard this several times now, so what better distraction for this horde of demons than a horde of devils? Top it off, you recently saw the goat devil Varys and his terrible features are embezzled into your memory. The illusionary devils spring out from the sewer entrance behind you. For a moment, you think there are all different versions of Varys. However, behind the first wave of clopping goat demons comes other variety, including classic horned devils with spike and tails and pitchforks. Obviously, Egra is adding her own flourishes to your vision. That's fine by you. The devils cry a roar in battle cry in what must be the language of hell. The goblins, now caught between devils and demons, scream in complete panic. Even the remaining warg has no will for battle. Rather, he yelps as he leaps about, desperately searching for escape. Devils ignore the goblins as they fan out, charging the demon horde. Great cacophony rises from the demons on the ground, and shrieks of rage from above. Dark bolts fall upon your illusion, blasting craters in the cobblestone as Egra deftly makes the devil react. Those demons that had been intent on slaughtering goblins have forgotten about them and are focused upon this new threat. Even the demons who had been closing in on you and their holy sword have taken on the devils as the highest priority. You take advantage of this as you slice and stab demons that charge past, falling several of them. Gods, demons hate devil, you think. An understatement, my dear champion, says Egra. To you, the devils look a bit like many of the demons, so it is a little disorienting at times. However, you soon get a knack of who is who, as you think. Slay all but the goats and demons. Goats and goblins. Your sword urges you to throw yourself into the thick of the demons. However, you're keen on your escape. Focus on cutting your way through the thinnest of the demon horde. Even as you focus on finding your exit, you can see that some of the demons are wisening up to the illusion, no longer engaging with the phantom devils, and instead shouting and shoving other demons nearby, perhaps trying to warn them of the trickery. Okay, checkpoint. So this chapter must be huge then, if there's a checkpoint here. "You are responsible for this deception," shouts a deep voice rumbling above the cacophony. You look up to see an incubus flying towards you. In his one hand is a silver wand with a red glowing tip. In his other hand is a long curved dagger. He's handsome and his muscular frame is on full display, but he's completely naked. His large phallus hanging between his legs is both intimidating and unsettling. That's a little flopping about as he veers towards you, dodging through the other flying demons. Even if you can cut your way out of this distracted demon horde, you will not outrun the flying incubus. As you consider your options, a flying red ray darts at you from the incubus wand, and there's only pain. Oh, the pain. You have had pain before, but pain that has made you want to die. But this is so much worse than that. Vaguely you realize you're on the ground, although you had not felt the fall. Do not fear, he will not slay you outright, says Egra. But else use the pain spell. Why else use the pain spell? Make it stop, you shout in your mind. Make it stop, you scream aloud. Then you cannot even form words as the pain spikes to new heights. Yes, I shall, says Egra, and then she pauses. Yet, oh, there's an interesting development. What development? There is no development that you know of. This liar godling says you can only see what you can see, yet all you can see are cobblestone below your face as you convulse in the agony. Something lands nearby. Scream as you manage to turn over onto your back. The incubus is standing over you, his grinning face visible above his hanging phallus. Perhaps he's about to urinate on you. You really don't care. Fresh wave of agony crest over the pain. You scream as you fling yourself over, face down again. This one's mine, comes a woman's voice. Dimly you feel warm wetness fall on the back of your bare neck. Likely he's urinating on you, or worse, not that it matters. Sometime passes. Oh, is he urinating on our character? I can't tell, legitimately cannot tell. Some time passes, but feels like an eternity, but it's likely only 1 second. You're being dragged by your long hair, although whatever pain this causes does not register over the all-encompassing agony. You open your eyes to see a man following behind his plate mail, blood splattered. It might be Jackal, who cares? You close your eyes as you let out another scream of pain. Stop, you shout. More time passes with nothing but pain. Perhaps you're dead, you hope not. Even hell cannot be like this. Dog's oblivion would be better than this. Now, champion, I'm going to release your discomfort, but you must still behave correctly. All these pitiful sounds you're making, keep doing it. Yes, yes, is all you can manage to say in your thoughts. Suddenly the pain is gone, all of it. You do not move, terrified that doing anything might start it up again. He's gone unconscious. This is not supposed to happen, comes the woman's voice. You scream out in fake pain, an easy thing to do thanks to your fresh memories. You scream, oh, yes, that's better, comes the voice. You open your eyes. You're in a chamber of blood stained on the walls, smashed furniture. The ceiling are high, with fresh coats inlaid into them, depicting perhaps everyday people within a city, perhaps Ring City. You're no stonemason, but the pillar and the stonework of the chamber is intricate, perhaps strong. Appears strong, no doubt the domicile of the wealthy Ring City citizens. A few meters away stands a succubus. Behind her stands Jackal, his helm off, revealing his dog head with torn floppy ears. Steam rises from one of the demon knight's gauntleted hand. The dog's lip are curled up in what might be expression of pain or anger. Azazel, you think. It must be her, because not only is she in the company of Jackal, but she also wears the same armor that you saw her wearing before. Additionally, there is that whip of hers coiled up and tied to her belt, and the familiar hilt of her short sword in her sheath. Although her equipment is the same, her new form is quite different. Her face is a little narrower, more severe. Although still beautiful, her black hair is now blonde, shortened to shoulder length. Her skin is dark red. She's covered with intricate white tattoos on her face and neck. What the hell happened? She has broad red wings with nasty curved horns along the rims. In her one hand, she grips a shaft of bloody limp flesh like an enormous chicken neck. She tears a bite out of the flesh and chews. In her other hand is the wand with a glowing reddish tip, what looks like the wand that Incubus has been wielding. Azazel laughs, a fleck of flesh flying from her mouth. I did not tell you to simply grab it. Jackal kicks your Elathian sword, making it slide across the floor and clank against the wall. Feldalek, growls Jackal. I thought you preferred the common tongue like the old days, says Azazel. There is no word in common for that cursed blade, says Jackal in common. Although your sword is several meters away, you still have your bow and quiver. You must be very confident that you are helpless with agony. Either that or they do not fear these mundane weapons. Letting you out a cry of pain, you turn your head to taking the rest of the room. The headless body of the winged woman lies nearby. She has little in the way of clothing, although her head is nowhere to be seen. Her red skin and white tattoos tell you she's likely to be taken. She's likely to have been the original succubus that Azazel have taken the form of.